I rolled a 1. That's good. Oh, I need to roll nat 20. Really? That is even with the Sovereign Dragon. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to be unfortunate. So I'll have to either reload a bunch of times, so I roll a nat 20, or we can come back to this when we have a second party member that might have something involving a skill. Oop, didn't see that last time. Thanks for your food. All right. Save the game. Talk to. I don't have to save the game, but what are you doing? Yep. And this is why we save before talking to anyone, because I have no idea. All right. Anyone else down here? There's a few people. Oh, there's a Windu. All right, so maybe she'll join. I don't remember if she's skilled. When I think of it. No. Good. Perfect. Alright. I'm gonna go click on something real quick. Alright, Noble Survivors. Felicity Rambi. No, that's not the one I was talking. Okay. Oh, I see. Visile Rathamus. A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as anyone else in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? I didn't even ask the question to the previous person, so I think I'll go back to talk to them proper. Show me the scrolls you're selling. Alright, so, anything... let's see. It does sell stuff. Alright. +2 to armor bonus and +3 competence to knowledge arcana. Cold resistance 10. Oh. Oh, damn. It's not bad. So if you have the ice plant hex, which is a witch thing, or some people can get hexes otherwise too, like shamans. This is another 2 AC. While you are under the effect of a death ward, you get a +2 morale bonus against attacks of undead creatures. Huh. That's cute. Alright. Oh. Okay. So you can scribe scrolls. Well, that's new. I can see why people have been making whole new parties for characters and such over and over again. They open the game and they realize they can do stuff. Interesting. And diamond dust. Any bulk selling? No? Alright. Let's talk to him again. Are you alright, Abadar willing? We'll hold out here until the army arrives. Who are you? Vasily Rathamus, rector of the local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone, though. If we snooze here for much longer, the city would be long lost as well. Who's that boy with you? This one. Cato the Shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Aristal, though. And though there's still something you can learn from an old servant of Abadar, he'll be a great cleric when he gets older. What kind of help can I expect from you? Goddamn. First, I sell scrolls. I have a lot of them. Something for every emergency. Second, while you're out here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed no surprises. But you better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. I'm too old. My powers are needed here. Sure. At least to talk to him. And all these unnamed people. That's always fun to run into. Wait, wasn't she over there? Oh no. Okay, she went from up there to down here. Let's talk to her again. Aniva, in her muted colors, blends almost perfectly into the background. Right. Right in the middle of the room. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drums her fingers on her lip or hip near her weapon sheath. She shows no signs of her injuries and confidently leans on her previously broken leg. She pretends to just have noticed you, even though she watched you approach from afar. Oh, hey, see how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump, or dance a jig if I feel like it. Are there any suspicious surprise places in the city I should pay attention to? There are a couple spots that I wanted checked out, but I didn't have time. If there's really a den of cultists there. It'd be good if you could swoop in there and bust some heads. You don't even have to search. Need a search warrant. And if it shoots you a crooked smile. First, it's Silk of Thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabrics. They always seem to be oh so busy. They're busy with something in there, all right. The sewing ain't it. Second is the alchemy shop, Topaz Solutions. And they trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying in the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going on down that place. Tell me about yourself. She shrugs with a lazy smile. I'd be happy to, but there's kind of nothing to tell. What's so interesting about me? How did you meet Erebeth? I was bumming around timing a while back. Doing this and that. Temples gave me odd jobs, you know? Sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nidal, the freedom of River Kingdoms should have seemed like heaven. Now I'm a place to sit back and enjoy life. But I wasn't happy. There wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone. No one cared about me, and I didn't care about anyone either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Tying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river started looking pretty appealing. Well, that's fun. See you later. One day I was hired to follow some fellows to who the local authorities suspected were Resmeran spies. I was stupid. I made a rookie mistake, and they caught me. I yelled at them. It's like my body had already decided what my mind was going. What mine had to. What the? Let's try that again. It's like my body had already decided to do what my mind has been fighting. To finally put me out of my misery. Oh, there we go. Get someone else to kill me. And since I didn't have the guts to do it myself, they grabbed me. I thought they'd got me on the spot, but instead they hog-tied me and dragged me off. Just like an animal going to the slaughter. All I thought was, let's get this over with. They brought me into their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and then I realized who it was. Cuthites. From Nidal. They tracked me down after all those years, but I didn't care anymore. Who would have cared if they eat me or whatever? We all go somewhere sometime, right? So I was laying there staring at those knives pointing at me when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot, Erebeth. And there she was, storming into the cave. Picture it, I'm lying on the altar with those knife-wielding maniacs all around me. And suddenly Erebeth storms in. I thought it was Amanda herself, fierce in her shining armor and gleaming sword raised. She made quick work of those scumbags, chopped them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then Aniva's face lights up as she chuckles. She looked through the papers. They had on the table, and then started swearing like a sailor. So much for Amanda. Where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found by a cabbage patch. She stopped short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like blabbing about my past, but you saved my skin. So I guess I kind of owed it to you not to clown around, right? I'm from Nidal. I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure. Ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead. And the official religion is the cult of Zon Cuthnon. I grew up in a slum, like a weed between the cobblestones. Didn't have a dad. Yeah. Well, you were a weed. I had lots of aunts and uncles. My mom's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon. While the other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us. Creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards of Nizroth. Nizrock. Yeah, that sounds right. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in the temple of Desna. Never saw Mom again. I lived in the temple for the next few years, keeping my head low. I washed floors, fetched waters, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while, I started liking Desna's teachings. But as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nido to get as far away as I could. Interesting character so far. Quite a ragtag group you've got there, from nobles to three street thieves. You got that right. Only the best for you. But what do you do if the knights and nobles fail to save the world? Their lowlives are our only hope. How did you and Erebeth end up in Kenabres? After almost becoming a human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Erebeth's side. Desna knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and with Erebeth, and when Erebeth showed me what was in those papers, proof that the cultists had a nest in her home city, well, I offered to help without a second thought. Aneva smiles warmly. She must have figured that I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the cultists, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Kenabres like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half of the crusaders are all the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You gotta be either goody two-shoes with too much honor and too much free time, or a misfit with no life out in the normal world with normal people. People come here to run away from their debts, their past, and even from themselves, so fit right in. Sorry about that. Let me just keep bashing that. What is it like living with Erebeth? It's like living. Without her, I wouldn't be. Seriously, if I was alone, I'd definitely be gone by now. You might want to work on that a little bit, live with yourself a little bit. Sure, sometimes we argue, can't deny that. Sometimes we bang our fists on the table and yell so loud that the walls shake. But that's all about order business. But at home, well, I'll give you an example. I kind of always wanted to move out from that broom closet we call a home into something cozier. It ain't like they take a vow of poverty at the Eagle Watch. But every month, somehow, most of our spare money is spent on the Crusader business. Sure, I get mad about it, but Neva makes a helpless gesture. It's part of why I love her so much. Erebeth does that thing that matters most for a person. A purpose in life. She's always got a reason for whatever she's doing. Her whole life is a crusade, and I just drifted around like a leaf in the wind until Desna brought us together. Now she's the meaning of my life. So it makes no difference if we live in a mansion or under a bush. Well, maybe it's a big bush. Be a happy place. Bob Ross can paint a couple for you. Thank you for your answers. Thanks for asking. Telling you all this kind of made me feel better. What are your responsibilities in the Eagle Watch? Aneva smiles evasively. Nothing official. I'm not even a knight. But I just hang around. Sure you want to know about the details? Catching traitors and spies and cultists is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. Can't always do it all within the letter of the law. What if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search? Everyone will know about it before long, starting with their cronies. Then again, sneaking into someone's houses at night ain't exactly legal. Crusaders can't be doing stuff like that, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight. She trails off. I look at my imaginary watch. I have to go. Alright, you watch yourself now. I don't need to watch myself. You're already watching for me. Alright. Oh, yeah. Let's move some stuff around real quick. Want to be doing this more often. Study target, which I might not be doing the first round of combat. Who knows? Actually, I could do that before I go into any fight. There's that. Alright, let's talk to the world's most important and special lady in the party. Windu. Windu's tense stance reveals her constant vigilance. Her eyes are focused but irresolute. Noticing you, she lets you speak first, bowing respectfully. Master, I'm at your service. Surprised she didn't just bow down to the devil person. She was clearly stronger than us. I want to know more about... The underground warrior looks flattered, her chin, raising her chin proudly. You can ask me anything, Master. What do you think of the life on the surface? Windu scoffs arrogantly. Life among the uplanders, you mean? Their customs are strange. The huntress casts a glance at you and corrects herself quickly. I mean theirs, not yours, Master. You are strong and clever, but I look at the other uplanders and wonder. I mean, you saw me unconscious on that bed for a week, so, you know, it's a little hard to gauge that, I'm guessing. Have you seen how proud they are of their weaknesses? Look, my hands are so soft. I've never done anything with them in my entire life, because noble blood runs through my veins. What does it matter to someone whose parents are? I'm the daughter of a former chief of the tribe, so what? Is that what they respect and fear me for? Sol became the chief because he was old, experienced, and smart. After him, I might become the chief, because I'm smart and strong and even smarter. But these weaklings wouldn't even last a day in our caves. Windu's eyes narrow wearily. Everything is strange here, but it's all right, Master. We'll put things right, won't we? Tell me about your life in the caves. Life was better than an uplander might think. You're surrounded by rock on all sides and sturdy, dependable. When you hide in the crack, you know you're safe. Sure, you're safe. Not like here, all this empty space around you. You always have to be on the guard, in case an arrow flies from any direction and hits you. Life underground is calmer somehow. Oh, she's agoraphobic. Interesting. Sure, there's less food in the caves than here, but the amount of food the uplanders have, it's too much. Don't you see? Master, how many fat uplanders are there here? Why do they eat so much, like cattle fattened up, to make for tastier meat? We only had one fat person in our tribe, and that was Sol, and he was the only fat because he was old. But up here, everything seems fairer in the caves. When there isn't enough food for the weak, they die. The lazy die. The sick, in the head and the body, they die. Only the strong and skilled survive, and the blood becomes thicker, tougher, delicious. What happened between you and Lan? Ugh. Windu shrugs disdainfully. He is a good hunter, but not too clever. A bit of an idiot, really. He was the strongest in the tribe after me. That's why I kept him close. His heart is soft, unlike his body. The hunter smiles shamelessly. But then I met you, and I didn't need Lan anymore. Now they want to hunt with you. Jeez. I could tell you're proud of your strength. Wendy throws back her shoulders back proudly. Of course, let anyone else who's standing before them. The weak must obey the strong if they don't want to be reminded of their place. Even when I was a snot-nosed little cave rat, I could bring up Neithers twice my age to heal. Because I fear nothing and no one. Pain least of all. Yeah, but you're willing to kind of follow people real quick. I was showered with praise and compliments. The best hunters of the other tribes wanted me. But did that matter to me? The moment you start listening to flattery is the moment you get soft and die. No. I always pushed myself further, challenging myself. Taking myself to the very edge. Many times I almost died, but I always came back stronger. I earned all my strength on my own, and if anyone didn't respect that, I just grabbed my knife, and that's why I became the best hunter in the tribe. On the surface, your people are called mongrels. I take it that you don't like that term. The hunter shrugs her shoulders. Let the Umlattas call us what they want. It doesn't matter. I know what they're trying to do. By giving us that stupid nickname. They're asserting their status and superiority over us. But it's normal to try to dominate a stranger you've just met. It is expected. When my kin conquer the lands on the surface, they will call us by whatever name we choose. Why do you serve me? Windows gives me a bland smile. Because you are winning, and I want to be with the winner. I don't like sharing food and fire with weaklings. I prefer people like you. And also, being close to you is a good way to live. I love life. I'm young and strong. It makes sense to eat, drink, screw, and kill enemies while you're young. Not when you're 30,000 gongs old and dribble up like soul. As long as I am a servant, I can have fun as I like it and order any around as much as I want. Who will dare defy me? No one! Her eyes drift half-closed in smug satisfaction. Alright. You know what? Let's see the choices. I can guarantee you fun and entertainment. Yes. Windu shoots me a feral grin. It's good that we understand each other, Master. As we neither say, we hunt in the same cave. You performed a chaotic action. I wonder how chaotic that was. Everything's clear to me now. Windu lowers her head, bowing much lower than is customary. Your interest gratifies me, Master. Damn. Let's talk about you serving Hostilla. Uncertainty sparks in Windu's eyes, and she curls up her spider legs on her back closer to body. Of course, Master. But now I only serve you. Has someone said something about me? What did you do for the demons? I brought my kin to their lair, so they could join the demon army and accept... Why is there no voices for this? Accept the power given to them. I made my tribe stronger. Later, when I no longer needed the demons, my powerful kin would have fought Hermie. The hunter shoots you a grim and bloodthirsty grin. Yeah, the reason I'm going through all of this is, you know, you get more quests. Go out there, do the thing, you know? Get it all in one swoop. Aren't you ashamed of betraying your kin? Let's go straight to switch allegiance. Why did you decide to switch allegiance? I was only serving the demons because they promised me power, but only for as long as they had something to offer me. Windu chuckles, revealing her sharp teeth. But Hostilla can't offer me anything new, now that she's dead, and I was never going to risk my life for her. You are a true leader, one worth following. The huntress says in a fawning tone. Yeah. We'll go with number 2. Aren't you ashamed of betraying your kin? Windu replies respectfully, but defiantly. I know that Soul would have called me a traitor, but for one reason only. He grew old and cowardly. I accepted the same fate as my fellow tribesmen. I ate the flesh too, and for many kongs I thrashed with fever, growling like an animal, lunging at anyone and everything. My body burning from the inside. But I handled it, because I was the strongest of them all. Not a single day I've regretted the power I've gained. And that's why I'm not ashamed of sharing this power with anyone, that power with my tribe. Yeah, but if you're the strongest one and you're the only one that managed to keep your mind, you know, maybe that's not good. Maybe that's not good. Just saying. How can I trust you? Windu's voice gains a fervent edge. How would I betray you, Master? You are the strongest. I mean, am I? It'd be stupid to defect to your enemies and die along with them. No. I am not that dumb. I have no more questions. It's good that our paths cross. You need a good servant, and I need a strong master. Let's see. You promised me an army of mongrels. You know, I'm honestly not interested in that right now. The huntress gazes at you with devotion. Thank you for talking to me, master. She turns back to the fire, just inches away from it. Alright. Let's do a quick save. We'll run right back over here, talk to this man over here. All I did was just look at his wares. Ask him, who are you? Now, Albino slowly takes your measure and with his red eyes, and finally, with a gentle sigh, says, Gemel Hawks, vampire. What? Really? I I was expecting Dampier, but not vampire. Are you really a vampire? Yeah. Gemmel gives you a long look of reproach and grudgingly answers, no. There we go. How did you end up in Crusader City? How does anyone get up here? Or, oh, what was his voice? How did you, or them, with a huge hand, Tavern Keeper gestures at a ragtag group assembled in the room. The world is big, but there is a place for everyone. People who no longer have a life anywhere else, they end up here. Any news in the city? The albino looks around. There are demons everywhere, and you showed up. Well, I didn't bring them. Are there any places in the city worth visiting? What do you mean that places like normal people usually stay well from? Well, then there are plenty, like the Pixtian wine cellar. He pauses for effect, like the name and place alone would give you a quiver in fear. It once belonged to a Pixtian Pitaxium. There you go. Trading house. When then King Aravidi came to power in Pitax, and property changed hands. Soon after, the seller's shop assistant was found in a ditch. Not all of them, mind, just his head. Numerian gangsters had taken possession of the place. They wanted to sell something stronger than wine in the street, and they ended up in the gallows. Then, King Aravidi's number was up. So now the store stands empty and unclaimed. People say that the headless ghost wanders the place at night, moaning ghoulishly, "Ooh." And he shows me the location of the place. After coming to the end of this story, unusually long by his standards, Tavern Keeper takes a swig from his tankard. Just don't ask me how he makes any noise with no head. I wasn't there. I just tell like I heard it. I see you're not one for talking. Gives you a long, mournful look and says nothing. Punctuating that point. I have to go. He sees you off with a subtle twitch of his pale eyebrows. Silent Tavern Keeper, huh? I don't know, I kind of like that. Did I talk to this person? I think I did. Yes, I did. Let's go over here. Pink Eye. There's some names. Indara, an imposing young Oreid, is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on to her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between just the legionnaires and the last war in the Crusades. The perfection of form and spirit that they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine. Not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. Now tell me again why I was supposed to be impressed by your reckless assaults, where everyone is fighting for their own ego and the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? Some of the Crusaders grumble unhappily. It is clear that they are captivated by the woman's words. I wasn't sure it was a woman. The only exception is a scraggly but disheveled young halfling monk whose puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to get engaged, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. I will listen to the discussion, sure. One of the Crusaders angrily curls his fist tightly and retorts to a burst of passion. If those gists of yours, or whatever, had come for us, we'd have got their guts for garters. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? The soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. He clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. The Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mix of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back. And I'll have you know, these fortifications were defended by Jaicecian priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. Okay. They look like they use the armies you cannot defeat as mindless weapons. And the woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her clothes with pointed nonchalance. Her voice takes on a lecturer's tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher in the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. And the woman looks at you and flashes an amused smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? just start attacking. Who are you? I'm Indara, a warrior, magus, and scholar of classical warfare from Gorund. The woman peers at you apprehensively and then sighs. I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to the Vistan's isolation from the sophisticated culture of the world at large. Yeah, sure, should be known. Coming a long way to be here. I'd like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Galarian, and I don't narrowly identify myself with any country in particular. Why'd you come here? To witness a legendary war. The confrontation between the descendants of a plain famous for its love of violence and the crusaders from every continent, united by a common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportion. This hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. Yeah, I'm guessing you've been inside the tavern the whole time? Because you didn't see that giant fucking bug just, like, decapitate that dragon? Pink Eye the monk. Really? The monk with the black eye grins and mutters under his breath. Maybe she couldn't, maybe she, just couldn't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding amongst us and takes a walk outside. Yeah. The woman smirks contemptuously. She does not deem the monk's words worthy of comment. Let's see. Looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, am I hearing some things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is a sufficiently open-minded person amongst the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how the fighting should be done? No. I'm a historian, an analyst, a theorist, which is exactly why you should be with the group, to tell them how things work. Do you know that these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I'll hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than feeble likeness of the last war of Jaicecian. The monk with a damaged eye grins shyly and comments, "The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words just to justify actually doing the fighting." Yeah, that's fair. What is this last war you mentioned? The last war of Jaicecian, of course. The large-scale conflict that took place year 3,000 before years of the foundation of Absalom. There's a war of the Osirian pharaoh of forgotten plagues, the war that ended the legendary Jaicecian Imperium. An epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in history, military history. Alas, all the conflicts that followed it were just pale shadow, including the one I'm witnessing here. Jeez, what a bitch. Why do you find the last war of Jaicecian so inspiring? I imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that scoop out of the clouds like terrifying monstrous birds of prey, drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels, or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Alright, that last one kind of sounded cool. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jiska, the deadly night plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a trained pestilence, striking only those who master its wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight of fancy could even come close to the horror of the imagines that they made real. Cool. So, what? That was strategic tactical warfare there? I mean, it was a good move, but... How do you know so much about the Jiska's last war? I can say without false modesty that there are no more authoritative research on Galurian when it comes to the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. I've dedicated my whole life to this subject. I personally visited the old battlegrounds and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing the chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen city of the Shori Empire with my own eyes. I ripped out the control crystal from an exterminated class combat golem that guarded a Jiska laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that the servants of Pharaoh of the Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jiska Imperium. You know how do I know so much? I touched and saw everything I'm telling you about. Yeah. Alright, so we chatted with her a lot, and there's going to be a DC check that I'm going to fail. So, hooray. What's wrong with the treat the Crusaders with disdain? Allow me to elaborate. A debate. Oh, I'll be happy to prove that the current conflict can't hold a candle to the last war of Jiska. Very well. The last war of Jiska was waged using a particularly significantly greater number of troops. Both sides actively relied on reinforcement from allied planes, and their strategic planning was perfected through no fewer than 7 rounds of intensive design. None of the above applies to this war of yours. Compared to the Jiska, we are just club-wielding kobolds. I would like to conclude that my thesis has a few words of wise counsel from Dagon, an advisor to the Pharaoh Forgotten Plagues. I doubt you'll be able to comprehend the true genius of this statement, or his statement. But here it is nonetheless. A gadfly sees the ox pays no heed to the gadfly, but the crimson fever takes them both. Alright. I could just attack her, winning the debate, because that's how debates work, right? You know, words have less substance than fists or throwing axes. I could do... The events of the past are shrouded in legend, but the fate of the world is being decided here and now. That is what you fail to grasp. Or, the principles of war are always the same. Weapons, causes, and resources may change, but the foundation remains immutable. We're doing a debate, so let's try world. I need to roll a 9. Oh my god, I finally did. There we go. Adira's eyes display frustration as she hears the audience, clearly impressed by your argument, murmuring approval. There is large logic in your words, but I give you that. Yes, the concept of war does not change, but the degree of sophistication and the methods that we use to destroy our foes. The woman stops, realizing her words. No matter how ostentatious she makes them, no longer have the power to captivate the audience. Indar offers a pretentious dismissal. As a scholar, I cannot deny that there is a certain truth beneath your skeptical statements. History is a complex discipline rooted in fact and an evidentiary base that grows ever more meager the further and the described period is from the present moment. Of course, if I were to argue in bad faith the way that Crusaders embellish the tales of slaying a single Brimorek by adding a dozen Balars, for example, I could win this debate. But I'm above such things, and therefore I'm forced to admit that your skepticism is not entirely without merit. Wow, so gracious. All right, so Have you changed your mind about joining the Crusaders? Sure. Let's try that again. I don't see the point. You Crusaders appear to be quite confident in your skills. If nothing else, you presented your arguments to me with extreme confidence. She unbuckles her sword belt and hands you the weapon. This is a worthy blade. It will be of use not only for the strong, but also the wise. Claw of Jistka. Okay. Cool. And this is where I bid you farewell. Before the end of the day, I was planning to observe how winged demons use pack tactics to drive their prey like herd of livestock. Jesus. I mean, I get being like observer, but damn. It's about time I got back to my research. A hint of a smile graces Indara's lips when she sees the disappointment in the eyes of the many crusaders around her. Stay safe. And she is... If we fought her, that would have been bad. I don't know if I would have gotten more, but I'm happy with that. Let's see what this sword is. Yeah. Short sword, a flaming short sword. That's not bad. I know she's a rapier lady, but... Oh, she can't even use it. Alright, well, I guess it just kind of sits around and... That was cool. Alright. So they just kind of like throw plot right in the front. Well, actually, this is a few hours in, so it's not too bad. Where to save the game, so talk to Hilor. Hilor, a tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray and shorn close to his head in a military style. He is lean and well-groomed. A monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bold set in his jaw and his large but agile frame attest that there is a man who always knew to be on the move. Greetings, I'm Halor, venture captain of the Pathfinder Society. Alright, I'm going to be right back, folks. I need to look outside and see how bad the snow is. Because if it gets much worse in about, I don't know, whenever my wife texts the thing, or about half an hour from now, I'll start shoveling. Be right back. And also, thank you for coming on by. You guys like what you saw today? Please follow the channel. And there's stuff, links below. Be right back. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to shovel. Well, that cuts this shorter than I intended. But at least I started it. For anyone that's watching, would you guys want me to, if I stream tomorrow? Well, ideally I stream tomorrow. I can run this more. We'll be able to see some combat, and I can make fun of more NPCs. Or even my own character. That sounds good either way. Thumbs up. Cool. Yep. So... Right. So, when my wife does her, I'm coming home soon thing, I'm gonna pretty much shut the show down, so that's that. Alright, but we got a little while till then. I'm a superior officer amongst the Pathfinder in this region of Mendiv. However, the Society is running almost no operations here and now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with a demon worshipper known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I've had to work alone with the support of the Society, but I've made quite a lot of acquaintances amongst the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for a honest cause, talk to me. Ooh, okay. This is where we make characters. Honestly, wasn't expecting this so early. The other game took a little bit longer. Tell me about your confrontation of the Spinner of Nightmares. It's all begun with the task, and let me just pick his nose. There. Oh, that's not the nose. Well, it all began with the task of the Pathfinder Society. I happen in Jaicecian. Wow, there's some names. I like them too, though. With my Jaicecian? With my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falron. We soon focused on a small hospital for the wealthy. Well, Falron was being treated shortly before his death. It turned out that a gang of Baphomets, yeah, I think that's right, and cultists calling themselves the Labyrinth of the Mind had gotten foothold at the capital. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, and completely helpless. And when they returned, they were different, almost normal. But the moment they had heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their mind, and they transformed into the servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of the Mind was prepared to infiltrate all the elite circles of Mendev, but Baron Falron stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath, too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until a strain broke his heart. We opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's piles of pits of vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies steeped real from their minds into the world. They dreamt of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could, but the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon of revenge. They abducted my daughter, Lori. Oh damn, that's a twist. Who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me with a note full of tart insults, mockeries, and sneers. From the note, I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt has begun, and I would get Lori back at any cost. Hilor grits his teeth with bulldog determination. There. I want to know more about you. What exactly are you interested in? I am a common Pathfinder. There are many others like me. Fate in my orders brought me to this land. How'd you get up here? I was working on the assignment for the Pathfinder Society, and then a demon worshipper named the Spinner of Nightmares abducted my daughter, Lori. For the past 3 years, I've been trying to save her. During this time, I've become a specialist in scouting demon territory. I even planted agents amongst the cultists. Truth be told, I'm pursuing the Spinner of Nightmares. I've been acting more on behalf, or in pursuing the Spinner of Nightmares, I've been acting more on behalf of Queen Galfrey than the Pathfinder Society. It's a long story. Maybe I'll tell you the rest of it sometime. Hilor frowns grimly. This Spinner of Nightmares is a true spawn from the Abyss. I've fought her many times, but I've never been able to seize her by the throat. Tell me about your daughter. Hilor smiles, showing his healthy white teeth. As a girl, Lori was just an angel. We lost her mother early on. She was left to follow my example, a drifter with little idea of how to talk to a 10-year-old girl. But even with such a questionable parenting, Lori managed to grow into a wonderful girl, brave, smart, beautiful, and entirely unbearable. She always argued with me about everything. When Lori was 18, she told me she was going to be a Pathfinder. All I said was, all right, and I knew there was no use to trying to talk her out of it. And she was a fine Pathfinder. Laura's fists clenched with a painful sounding crack. I'll never forgive the Spinner of Nightmares for taking my girl from me. That's not going to be a happy ending, I'm guessing. It's years now? Tell me about the Pathfinder Society. The Pathfinder Society is a global organization that unites opportunists and adventurers of all kinds. We explore the world and uncovered secrets, travel, and sometimes face down threats. In times of trouble, the latter becomes our primary focus. We're driven by curiosity and the desire to make a world a better place, and of course, seek profit or hunger for glory. But in any case, it's hard work. They might send you somewhere on any mission. Weaklings have little place in a society. It's more for seasoned fighters. There are society lodges in many cities. The closest one is in Jaicecian. They're each led by venture captains, lads like me. The Grand Lodge is in Absalom, the center of the world. Oh, really? Really Really. The Decemvirite sits there, an anonymous council of the leaders. I have no more questions. You know what? I have to go. Good luck. Watch your back. Only trust your closest friends. The enemy is cunning and treacherous. Alright, so... You know what? I'm gonna cut today short because the snow is really hammering down. I'm like, I can barely see outside from here, but I could see the snow. So what I'm going to do is I'll work on some ideas for what our extra characters are going to be. And I think today that'll be a short but sweet session for today. A lot of exposition. In fact, if I can remember, I'll just call this episode the Exposition dump. God, I bet there's more too. There's like important people to my right and all that stuff. If folks that are watching right now, if you enjoy what you saw today, please consider following the channel. If you want to see some of the older episodes, they're more than likely on YouTube, and I also chat and such on Discord. Hope everyone has a good day, and yeah, I know I said I was going to wait another half hour or so, but it's just what it is. I do have to shovel, otherwise the plow will actually plow us in. So I hope, yep, I said all the things. Take it easy, bud. Yeah. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Yeah. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing to the channel and flick that bell icon if you already haven't already. And if you just feel like it, follow my channel on YouTube or Twitch. Even if you don't, even if you don't watch. God, that'd be that wouldn't be good. Yeah, don't do that. See you, folks. Thank you to everyone who supported me through the streams and videos. My awesome wife, my awesome moderator, along with my subscribers on Twitch. And a huge thank you to those who simply watch the videos and just lurk during the streams. I also want to thank my Patreon support. Thank you, Zayla Darkwater. If you liked the video, please follow the channel and share the video. Have a good day.